And we're back. Okay, so um, I was duped earlier when I was putting together our night hag, trying to figure out where these two pieces went. Uh, I mean, I knew I had this one going here, and it connects back here. I knew that, but I could not figure out where this piece went. Come to find out, after actually following Blindy's instructions and looking up the instructions, this is an alternate piece. I could have just put that there. We take all this back off, and it's an alternate sculpt. Womp womp. So we're done with her for the night. So I'm going to try to finish up my Avengers. I only have 3 more to go before I have all the Avengers painted that were in Civil War. So Hawkeye we did last week. Basically, all we have left to do on him is finish his base and give him a coat, and Hawkeye's done. So that won't take very long. The main we've got to do now. I know he's not an Avenger yet in Civil War, but he is part of that fight at the airport. So I want to finish him up or start him. I don't think he's going to take very long to work on. So we'll get him done. And then the bane of my existence, Vision. So this is where we've gotten to Vision. I hates it. Trying to do all the washes and stuff over that color just comes out gross. So I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. But we'll see. But he is a concern for later, JD. First, we're going to worry about finishing Hawkeye, getting his base done. And for that, we need our good old Eshin Gray. Now, there we go. So we're going to Eshin Gray his base so that we can finish him up. Let's get our not necessarily best brush, but still not a horrible brush. And we're just going to throw the Eshin Gray down. And since he has tactical rubble, so we're going to go ahead and pretend that's part of the road and get the gray up on that as well. Yes,
I just want to show you. It's like, it looks so good.
Let's see. We're going to put it on camera. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So this is something. What's your name?
I'm Kirsten.
Kirsten, I guess, no idea. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine.
So she came to me last week
Yes.
and wanted some suggestions on she's getting married
Yes.
to our buddy Brody.
Yes.
And she has a cake topper that she wanted to make look like them. So I gave her some suggestions. She came in tonight, and now we have this lovely cake topper with the correct hair color, correct dress color, tie color. So we're very proud because this looks really good. Yeah, that touch up there, great. Hair's looks really good.
Thank you.
So
I'm gonna seal it.
Seal it up, give it some storm shield,
Yes.
and
Gracias.
you're ready to go. Prego. All right. Oh, what is there? No, stop. I'm starting to get all. You got a looks great from our buddy Brian Foreman. So we're gonna get the Eshin Gray down. Again, it's not like it's a tactical rock, it's tactical rubble, so we're gonna paint that the same color as the street. If it was a rock, we'd do different coloring. Actually, I might go back and we'll probably do that Hydra symbol in red. I think that'll make that pop a little bit more. Making a mess, making a mess. Keep it away from his boots because I don't want to make that much of a mess. All right, go ahead. Get this edge here. Make sure we get the edge running through here. But stay away from his booties. All right, so we're gonna let him dry for a second. Have you started doing the seal yet? Okay, here. Use this.
Is that a good
It's
sealant?
it's just a bigger brush, and on a model that size, you'll be able to get it in bigger swaths. Oh, never mind.
Um,
So when you're using it though,
uh-huh.
you'll see sometimes it'll get a weird milky blue color.
Okay.
That means it's too thick.
Okay.
So just keep working that in.
Okay.
You don't. It should dry clear, but you don't want to risk it, if that makes sense. Just like any of the clear acrylic you pour, and sometimes it gets too cloudy. So you just want to make sure just keep smoothing it and keep working it, so you're not going to get brush stroke lines.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So why does this keep happening? Stop trying to look for a device to import from. I'm just trying to charge my phone. Stupid computer. Okay, so let's leave Hawkeye for a minute and let's bring out Bucky. Okay, so you know what? Let's unplug the phone so it stops doing that and find a picture of Bucky. Winter Soldier. Soldier Civil War. Images. So yeah, he's gonna be really hard to do. He's another one that likes to wear all black. So there we go. We got our Bucky. Um, his jacket is definitely all black. We may throw a little silver on that shoulder pad because he does have a shoulder pad there. Um, that is a very good figure for him. Looks like his pants are black too. So another easy peasy paint scheme. Now, granted, in Civil War, he has the mask over his mouth, and this Bucky has it over his eyes. So we'll, look, wait for it. Oop. You can see a little infrared thing on these. Yeah, it's tracking. All right, let me just double check. Yeah, he's pretty much just wearing all black gloves, silver arm, red star, black, and then dark brown hair. We can do it. Okay, so let's get started. Um, let's start with. You know what? Let's start with the easy peasy part, other than the fact that all of it's black. We're going to get a dry brush and our lead belcher. And we are going to come back. All right, so let's start on his arm. Just like we did with Cable the other week. We're just going to lightly dry brush his arm, giving it a nice shiny sheen. We're going to go ahead and hit Nuln Oil to get the on it in a minute to get the divots. But while we're doing this, we can actually close up our lead belcher. We're about done with that. Let's go ahead and get the base that he's on, because he's on this metal door that always gives me fits. This base is always the one that gives me the most problems, because there's not enough surface area to stick to paint or to glue. All right, so easy peasy. All right. We'll let that soak up the water for now. I guess it looks like he's got a free arm out, so he actually has a little bit more skin than I was expecting, which is fine. Like I said, he is not based on the MCU. We're just trying to make him as MCU-ish as possible. So we're going to get out our Bugman's Glow. Carefully. I can't tell if that mask goes over his nose or not. It does. So we're just going to get the bottom of his face. Does it? I don't think it does. And now he looks like the Joker. Let's go ahead and do his arm because it looks like that is a bare arm. So there's a little bit more color on him than just all the black. I think I will do that shoulder pad black, but we're going to gloss it at the end to make it look like an enameled armor piece as opposed to matte like the rest of it. Let's get up under here. Like I said, I don't think he's going to take us very long, which means the majority of tonight, it's going to be figuring out vision. Oh no, we got to do Ant-Man. I forgot about Ant-Man. You know what else I didn't do for Ant-Man? I didn't prime Ant-Man. So I'm going to have Ant-Man primed for tomorrow. Maybe I'll paint Ant-Man during the paint party. I knew I was forgetting somebody earlier. I got to do both Ant-Mans because it does come with a large and a small. We can gloss his knee pads too to sort of tie it in. All right, so Bugman's Glow done. Let's go ahead and pull our Nuln oil and throw that on the arm to shade it up. Easy peasy. All right. Next, I need Abaddon. We're going to go back over. I got some silver on things I didn't need to get silver on. So, Abaddon Blackout. I can't believe I forgot about Ant-Man. All right. Right up to his wrist with the glove. And then a little bit, you know, there's a little here. Let's go ahead and get up under there. And also I noticed a little bit of missing primer on the inside of the gun here. So let's make sure we get that covered. And even on the inside of his glove. There's enough that this paint should stick no problem. So it just wasn't a full coat. So we'll throw that back down. And then something I noticed when I got down under here when I was doing his skin tone, the stock of the gun is poking out here, so we're going to make sure we cover that back up. All right, so other than get a little bit here. All right, so easy peasy. Shut that back up. And then we're going to, I need some Doombull Brown. If I can find it. There's Mornfang, which we'll need in a second. Right now I want Doombull. There you are. And we're gonna get his hair. So for he's got dark brown hair, so we're gonna start with Doombull Brown. We're gonna do a little dry brush of Mornfang, and then we'll probably do some earth shade to darken it again. Some highlights. Make sure we get to wrap underneath. He's got a cross between like good wavy hair and a page boy haircut that makes him look silly. I don't know. He's adorable. Look at him. All right. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and get out our Eshin Gray again. And we're going to do what we've done in the last few. I mean, these have really been, we've been burning through them because I've been choosing people wearing black outfits. So we'll get a dry brush.
Thank you again.
You're absolutely welcome.
I look at it, I'm like, that's us.
Yes, that's good. Because, you know, it's a semi-important day that needs to go well.
Oh, it's our.
No?
I already know it's not going to go like as planned.
Yeah.
Going well is a state of mind, but it won't go as planned.
They never usually do.
Yeah.
When is it?
The 30th.
Oh, so you're up on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got work at 5 in the morning, so I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah. Well, go have fun. Good job.
Thank you.
And if I don't see you, congrats.
Thank you.
So we're gonna do a bunch of Eshin Gray dry brushing. Get him. Ooh, he's trying to escape. Nope, didn't get enough on that one. Sometimes dry brushing is all you need. I mean, it makes things quick and easy. If you're trying to do competition models, I don't recommend going that route unless it's for a specific look you're going for. But just for especially on like a game where you're painting multiple of the same one and you're trying to go through it quickly, it can be a very beneficial tool in your arsenal. So we're going to be done with that. We're going to let that start soaking up. We're going to go ahead and get our brush with the rest of the Eshin Gray, or while the Eshin Gray is open, and go ahead and get the rest of this base. Just like that. Close that back up. All right, now I want my Mephiston red. And we're gonna pop out this star real quick. One thing I really do appreciate about Atomic Mass Games is they do give you some kind of outline for these kinds of things. Venom's symbol, Spidey's symbol, this star, like they give you an outline to follow so that you don't have to freehand it. And that I really appreciate that about them. So while we have the red out, let's pop over to Hawkeye and get this Hydra symbol. Be careful. And just sort of lightly go over the top. Catch the raised areas. Do want to get the circle around it. There we go. Go ahead and there we go. All right, got that. So he's almost done. We'll finish them up at the same time with the dry brushing of the grays on the Eshin Gray for the bases, and then cleaning up the base at the same time and coating them at the same time. Let's go ahead and see how our dry brush is doing. Probably hasn't had the full amount of time, so let's go ahead and see if we can force any more moisture out of it with another paper towel and just press it hard. Sorry, had a conversation I had to be a part of. Happens. Sorry. All right, so got my dry brush. All right. All right. So now I need my Morn Fang because we're gonna do a little dry brushing of his hair. So I just need a little bit, just a little bit on the corner of my brush, and then we get it off the brush like we do. And you can see it's not lightening it up too much, but it's giving it the nice highlights we want. Let's go to the front. So now we have brown hair. All right, let's clean that off. And nope, that didn't get all the brown out. Definitely want to get the brown out. I kind of want to do a quick dry brush of the lighter, one more lighter gray, say Dawnstone, and then throw the Nuln Oil on it. So let's see how quick I can get this dry brush dry, because this is my good dry brush. And last week I said I was going to get another dry brush, but I ended up not doing it. And I don't want to leave y'all dangling for 5 minutes while I walk up there and inevitably have to talk to somebody while I'm trying to get a brush. And there's our buddy MTG. Brian, you're up. Take him down. All right. Okay, so let's find my Dawnstone, which was easy. Man, paints are a great fight. There we go, Brian. Get it. All right, so we're going to pull out our Dawnstone. Get that on our brush. And I want to go ahead. Really want this to be a light, so I'm going to make sure most of it gets off. And go over where we've gone. Not as much as the last one, but you can really see the detail like now picked out on this model. Like, I mean, for somebody wearing all black, he does have a lot of detail. They did a great job on this model. Sadly, we're just the version of Bucky we chose. He with a shiny metal arm, he wants to blend into the night. Make sure we get his fingers, because those we want popping out. Here we go. All right, so Bucky's kind of basically done. We've got a couple more layers of flesh tone to do. But while we do that, let's go ahead and Nuln Oil the crap out of him. So let's get that set down and ready to go. Pull out a good brush. And let's laden him with black, more black. Hopefully this will deepen all the versions of black and keep the highlights of the gray like we did with Black Widow and Hawkeye. Even though we did have a little color on Hawkeye, it's still, man, I was really happy with the way Hawkeye came out. All right. So normally I would flesh shade his skin as well, but we're not going to do that. You remember he's Russian and stays in cryo, so he probably doesn't have any form of tan. So Plus, he's from New York, which you can take it from me. That means he's pale anyway. Nope, got a little bit out on there, but it won't be that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and get his gun a little bit and his fingers. Do we want to do it? Let's do another one here. Try to get a little bit more depth. All right, so we're gonna let Bucky sit for a minute. Well, no, we're not. We're gonna put that up. We're gonna pull out our Earth Shade. If we can find it. There it is right there. All right. Pull out our Earth Shade. Let's throw this over his hair. Darken that back up. And plus give it a little bit more depth. Ooh, that might have been excessive, so let's make sure we wrap that all the way around. All right, that's a little too much. We're going to get our brush a little dry, and we're going to just put it back on there to pull some of that moisture out, because that was a little excessive. All right. All right, so we're going to let him dry for a little bit, although it looks like his arm already has done so, so let's close that up. I'm going to go in and pull out my Rune Fang Steel, if I can find it. This is my favorite part of this night, is hunting my paints. All right, so yes, we got Rune Fang Steel. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take a non-normal dry brush. Let's see if this wants to agree with me today. It does not, so it's going to get painted. All right, so I'm going to get our good brush. I'm just going to use a very tip of a brush. I'm going to throw some reflective parts on there. Hit the highlights. Hit the tippy tips. It's not even half your life, but I mean, it's still I'm going to try to be very aware of where the lines are supposed to be, so I don't fill those in, to give it a little bit more depth when we, just like that. There we go. Just give them a little more shine. Let's go ahead and get the the top of his shoulder, definitely. There we go. Makes his arm pop a little bit more. Pow, pow, pow. If you can see, there we go. All right, so while the rest of that is still drying, let's go ahead and pull out our Cadian flesh tone. That's Kislev. We'll need that later. Where are you at, Cadian? They all like to hide on me and look the same as their brother. Blade One, Scarsnip, Iron Rack. May need that for. Actually, you know what? Let me pull that Iron Rack out. We may need that later for vision. Where is Cadian? Did I put it? Oh, no, there it is right there. Let's go ahead and touch up some of the skin. Tried to leave a little bit of the dark, but he has a really narrow bit of face, and I didn't want, like, if I leave his lips dark, it looks really weird. So leave a little bit in. Like I said, we want him lighter than normal. So the way to do that is to leave less of the dark shadows. We could even cover all of this, all of the Bugman's glow up, and just use the Cadian and then do what we're doing now, but with Kislev. But I do want to give his bigger muscles a little bit more depth, like right there. There we go. So see a few dark spots running through, but most of it the Kislev. So we'll cover that up for now. Let's see what else we have to do on him. Other than another, yeah, we just need to wait for him to dry. Look, he's practicing good trigger. I can't think of the word. All right, so let's go ahead and get our Evil Sun Scarlet because I can't think of the word. Oh, Mephiston, just there it is. All right. We want our star to be bright Russian red. So let's go ahead and pop that on there. Just bam. We got us a red. Ooh, that looks really good on camera. All right. And so while we're doing this, let's go ahead and this one can stay a little darker because it's going to be down here and sort of dirty. I'm going to do an approximation of like a highlight, but we'll just run it over and we're not going to do too crazy, but if we just do that, we get a nice little Scarlet Hydra symbol, but it's not all scarlet. So cover up our evil sons. We got plenties of times. So let's see how Bucky's doing. Let's go ahead and pull out a Kislev because I know that will have dried by now. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the lips sort of alone on the darker tone. I think that gives them a little depth. Doesn't mess with them too much as far as look too silly. And let's go ahead and run it up here. Should have paid attention. I got a mold line running all through this guy. A little disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I'm not trying to enter him into anything. But be aware of something if you ever want to do competitions, that mold line can get you. So make sure your model's clean. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, there's not much left to do on him, strangely enough. So let's go ahead, get our dry brush. One ready. All right, and we need our gray sear. What you got? Kill me. Billy's over there trying to be Arnold Predator Schwarzenegger, playing my hero. All right, so we got some gray sear on here. So let's slap it down here. Just like that. Finish that base off. And then bring him back out. And we're probably going to need some more grays here because this is a lot to cover. So let's get some more. Be careful of his boots. Get a little bit more. Should we get the corners in there? All right. And then clean that brush off. And get our other dry brush. That may be dry enough by now. And we're going to pull out our, like I do, flash gets yellow. Don't need a whole lot. All right, and let's get the caution curve, like I do. All right. And then pull out our Abaddon again. Let's clean up these bases. Don't close on me. All right, so we're just gonna get that ledge. I know you see me do this how many times over the last few weeks, but you know, I'm having fun with this. It's something different every time. It doesn't have to be Space Wolves or Sisters or Death Guard. Each one's different. Well, I say that, and the last three have been black. So then the one that isn't is giving me fits. Stupid vision. But we're going to fix him in a minute because we're almost done with these two, and then we'll concentrate on vision for the rest of the evening. See if I can get him done, or at least closer to being done. All right, so we got our ledge. Let's look around the edges. Does need a little bit of love, so let's just... Where did that yellow on my finger come from? Please tell me I just did not transfer any of that to Hawkeye. I'm going to lose my mind if I did, because I don't even know where it came from. Does not look like I transferred it, so that's a bonus. All right, so now let's clean up Bucky. So clean up the lip. Overshot from the silver dry brush. I realized I've been talking about having the Avengers at Civil War done, and I will. But I just realized that my Sam is not going to be the right. It's not going to be Falcon Sam. It's Captain America, so that'll look a little weird. But whatever. Wish they make a Falcon Falcon. All right, so those bases are done. So let's take a look at Bucky now and see if he is done drying from the Nuln Oil wash bath. Basically, he got. But first, let me take a drink real quick. All right. Bye, guys. Yeah, he does look. See, look at that. Oh my God, I'm glad that it didn't get on anybody. All right, so he looks fairly dry. Dry enough. We can throw down our super awesome storm shield. That's hard coat. That would have been awkward. Although we will need that after we're done with it, after the storm shield dries. So we'll pull out the storm shield, give it a shake, and get our big stupid brush. Let's go ahead and let him just in case dry for another little bit. Let's slather him down. Make sure we're not leaving anything. All right. Let him dry, and then we'll get his base. Let's go ahead and get another one for good old Bucky. Finish him up. Go ahead and get it down there. As you can see, I'm not even going to attempt to paint his eyes inside that mask. It might just throw it all off, make it look really weird, having some white running through there because, well, he's got goggles. Actually, he does have goggles, now that I remember. So I'm not going to be too worried about trying to do eyes in there and mess everything up and have to go back and paint it over and over and over again, trying to get it right. So, yeah. All right, so we're going to let him dry for a minute. He's a little sticky, but let's go ahead and make sure we get around the base because that's hopefully where we're going to be touching it the most. That in his head, sadly. All right. Close up our storm shield. Clean our brush off. Give it a minute or two. Let that finish drying. And then we'll go back with some hard coat. All right, so vision. We got about a half an hour. Let's see what we can do to fix vision. Ugh. Okay. So my buddy Brandon says this is a light version of him. So let's try another mixture. Pull out something that I can use as a palette. The inside of a card pack. That'll work. All right. So I'm going to take this and Abaddon. Actually, yeah, we're going to take this and Abaddon. And I'm actually going to use, let's go ahead and use my sculpting tool. Just scoop out some maybe. Okay. Now I'm going to use Abaddon. So I got some Iron Rack skin, shiny palette that you can't see because lights. Let's go ahead and clean that off. All right, and then I'm going to try to do a 1-to-1 mix. Last time I did a 2-to-1 mix Iron Rack to black. I'm going to try to do closer to a 1-to-1 to get it a nice dark green gray, I guess. So let's do a little mixy mix. That may have been too. Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. This might be a little bit more gray than green. I will finish mixing and get y'all's opinion. I may have to add a touch more green to make it more green, but I think that's going to be dark enough. What y'all think? I think it needs a little bit more green. So let's go ahead and leave that there, and let's go ahead and get Wall Flesh because that is a darker green. And I'm gonna pop this open. I wonder if I should have just used Wall Flesh to start. All right, now let's mix that in. All right, so we're gonna try this. If it's too dark, you know what? At this point, oh well. I'm over vision, and he doesn't have to be pictured anywhere ever. All right, so let's get our brush out. You know, let's just not worry about too much. Let's just paint him. Actually, this is coming on closer to what I think his MCU is looking. Or I'm way off and no big deal. I just want to get him painted before any of this dries. Well, hello, Sydney, Australia. How are you doing today? Uh, I am trying to get the correct grayish, greenish color from the MCU version of Vision. I full disclosure, I am colorblind, so the movie version of Vision, pretty much the whole thing looks burgundy to me every time he's on the screen. So I'm trying to overcome that and paint him as close as I can to that. I just did a mixture of some paints. I think I'm close, but I could be way off. So, yeah. But I've been painting MCU tonight. We finished up Hawkeye and Bucky, and I really want to get the rest of the Avengers from Civil War done. So he's like my obstacle that I've been working on for the last couple weeks, covering up last week's horrible attempt at getting the correct color. So how are you doing down there? Are you enjoying it? Is everything starting to warm up? Because thankfully here in Mobile, Alabama, it is finally starting to feel like fall. So thank goodness. It's been miserably hot. So I know you're swapping seasons with us, so hopefully you're warming up, but not too miserably. All right. I don't think that's a horrible color. All right, let me double check his face, see what part of that green comes up. Let's see. Did I get rid of it? Nope, I didn't. So, no, I don't want that. I just want the picture. I don't want uh I don't want a story. I just want the picture. It's a different picture. All right. So, I think we're close. I think we're real close. Let's see. I appreciate that. So actually, it might be a little lighter on the mini. Well, maybe that's the light because in my eyes it's pretty close. But we just got to add some red spots. All right, so I need to bring up around the V, and cool. I think I got close, but again, I maybe didn't. So let's bring the V around the stone. And here's where I'm thankful for Atomic Mass giving us the sort of outline instructions of where to paint certain colors. Now I just have to worry about getting the correct red. So we're going to worry about that in a second. Got to look at his face again. Is his yep, his chin does have the green come back. So did I cover up all the bad green? You know what? We're gonna actually, in that picture, his green arms came all the way down, but with some weird fades. So we'll have fun with that. And let's go ahead and get this side. All right, that makes me a little happier. I know it shows up real bright on that screen with all the lighting. It's a little darker in real life. So, but now from here on out, cannot mess up because recreating this, oh goodness. All right. So actually, unless we hurry, I got about 22 minutes left. 22 minutes before our hour and a half is up. Let's see if we can get our reds down. And that's Evil Sons. Did I put yep, I put Mephiston back. Actually, you know what? What if I start with Wazdaka? Let me start with Wazdaka. All right, so we got face and neck and hands and booties. And then various parts throughout. Let's just put him right there. I think we're going to do this Wazdaka. This Wazdaka actually might be pretty close to right. We might have to give it a little wash or something. All right, so let's go ahead. Go ahead and that corner right there. I do. In fact, most of the time I do Games Workshop models. However, the last few weeks I've been, I don't know. Do you paint GW stuff? Because it gets repetitive. I've been painting GW for stuff for 30 years. Um, and every once in a while I need a break. So the past few ones of these I've concentrated on this game. Just it's a nice break. Every once in a while I'll do Song of Ice and Fire minis. I kickstarted a game that I should hopefully get first quarter next year. Epic 7 board game, which will have some gorgeous minis. I can't wait to paint some of those. But yes, the majority of what I paint is GW. Um, I play Space Wolves and Sisters, not necessarily together. Um, I also have a project I'm hoping to start uh, next Monday. That we will only paint that model on Mondays in that slotted time. I would like to wait until we start to reveal it, but that project is going to take us a few months, I'm pretty sure, because it's a big model. So that may give everything away. And then, so tomorrow, Tip Top Baker, um, from 6 to 9 Central, uh, Central Standard Time. So it'll end at the same time. So it'll end in whatever 18 minutes is from now for you. Um, uh, but we'll start 3 hours earlier. We have paint party. So if you've actually got a camera, a setup, and a mic, you're welcome to join us. We can have up to 10 people on the screen at one time. So we have a good time doing that. All right, let's see. Whoop. No, go back. So yes and no. I've had I've sold a lot of minis over the years. I've sold armies, gotten into different armies, uh, gotten back into armies. I mean, I've been playing Space Wolves basically off and on for 30 years. I had a normal Space Marine team. I had Tau for a little while, Orcs. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff. um, I also work at a game store, so I get more stuff. It's really bad for my paycheck, but let's get a little of this red around his neck. And then he gets some right here on his shoulders. He's got some that actually is counterintuitive that comes out and down. So out, down. Got some on his hip. So we're gonna actually follow this. All right, come back on. Come on back on. My face is in it. I'm not on Instagram. Actually, I am. I think my eldest child made me get one. I do have actually a couple things on there. Um, I'll have to remember my actual name on there. It's probably Jedi Raptor. Um, let's see. And that's going to be black running through there. So let's see. Finish up a little red here. And hopefully I still have a little bit. I do have a little bit of this green. A lot of this green that I created is still wet. So let's go back and fix up corners around here. You know what? Now, hold on one second. While I'm doing this, I'm pretty sure I just took a screen cap for zero reason. Let's see if this is all good. Okay, it's just so I do have an Instagram. It's verifying by my email. Hold on one second. Because I obviously haven't used it in a while. Submit. All right, so I'm in my Instagram. So I don't even know how to tell you. I have. Apparently, somebody mentioned me 2 days ago. Like, literally, dude, I don't. It's been a long time since I've been Instagrammed. I've been on Instagram. I'm trying to get to the home. I don't even know what to do. Dude, I have to re-download the app. So sorry, this is taking a second. Come from the cloud. But while that's doing that, you know what? Let's do. Yeah, it's Jedi Raptor. So that's my Instagram. I don't even know. There we go. Yep. And it has a few of my older minis on there. It's honestly only got 6 pictures on there right now, and one's from one's literally a Pokemon Pokemon Go pick. It's got some of my old stuff, but I have a bunch I'll download tonight from my phone, and that's probably something I should keep updated. But I appreciate your interest. All right. So we got about 10 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of my white scar. And I'm going to pop it open, get our handy dandy sculpting tool, and apparently get the side we forgot to clean off earlier. And I'm going to get a little bit of white scar. And I'm going to mix it into our weird mix that we've made, just to get a little bit of a lighter version. Get a good mix. It's starting to get pretty it's starting to clump up a little bit. So actually, let's go ahead and get a touch of water, thin it back down a little bit, and then close up our white scar and give them a little bit some light highlights. We're not going to go crazy. but we don't want him to just stay that one color, right? So get the top of his head a little bit, and his ear bubbles. I mean, I did a really subtle, just a little bit of white, so it's not going to be much, but it'll be a nice subtle. What's great about him is he doesn't need to be over muscular, you know. He's just normal toned. So we're going to pop that up at the top. Just add some of these highlights. Get his chest. Hit the top of his abs a little. Just follow these lines down here real quick. We're just doing quick lights. Problem is, I don't know where I put the red on that, but hopefully I didn't cover it up too much. All right. We're going to let that ride. So now we've got to put, so according to this picture, which, all right, so I need a little black leading into the cape. So I think we're done with that green. Hopefully if we ever need to recreate it, I can come back and look at this or remember. So we need a little bit of black to run up for his quote unquote cape. And for that, we're going to run it. We're actually going to run around this gem here. And carefully there. And just run it up his shoulders. Remember, this model is not designed as the MCP version or MCU version. It is based on the comics, so it's not going to be exact. So we're approximating what we can. So we're just going to let that run through there. Easy, easy. And then dry that off. We're going to let that dry for a minute. Actually, you know what? We get our Retributor Gold because he has a gold quote unquote fastener for his cape, his quote unquote cape. So, so he's got a little diamond here. We'll just paint gold in the middle of that black, which we just overshot, and we're going to need our black again. That's fun. See, now we're down to 5 minutes, and I'm wanting to get him finished up because I think he's close-ish. Mainly, I want to be done with Vision. Said he's been giving me all kinds of heck for the last few weeks, but I think we got his color right. All right, now we'll let our flash gets yellow. See if we can get this nice and focused. And we got us a Mind Stone. You can see it when it's out of focus, real easy. In focus, it's a little harder. That's okay. One one last thing I think I want to do on him before we finish the base is pull our white scar back out. We might go a little bit over just so I can finish up the base so he's done. All right. Pull this out. I want to do all this in case, well, this is all inside the red, so. Then you do a dot. We do a dot. And we have Paul Bettany eyes. That's not horrible. All right, so let's go ahead and pick our dry brush back up, and we're gonna do one more gray sear as long as we can find it. There it is. Now it looks like I did a different color earlier, probably Dawnstone. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give a gray sear once over. We're gonna leave the wall alone, so it's a different gray. Like I said, on these bases, I'm not trying to let them overtake the model. Although if they want to overtake vision, that's fine with me. So just do a quick dry brushing over the rubble and the base, so it brings it back up to the level of the rest of my models. Oh, of course, he's got a curve, which means we're going to have to throw some yellow under there. We got that other dry brush ready to go, I think. And then we'll clean up the base, give him a coat. And then one more thing. Does it look better, Brian? I think it looks closer than the fit it was giving me last week.
One damage the cultists have done something they're well worth their points.
That means all I have to worry about tomorrow is Ant-Man, and I got my Civil War teams done. All right. So let's just go ahead and do this back here. All right. Let me do a cleanup on his base with the Abaddon Black. Oh, I'm so excited he's about done. So like I said, we'll go over a minute or two, but no biggie. Because I started part 1 20 minutes late, it's okay if I go over a little bit tonight. This one has a lot to clean up on the base though, so let's make sure it gets nice and cleaned up in the yeah, now that I've got and I hate it for all my friends that are on Instagram, they're about to get hit with like, you have 400 notifications, because I have a lot of photos that I posted on Facebook and that I haven't uploaded to Instagram. Like the pictures on there are things I've done 5-6 years ago. Like I have 5-6 years worth. Well, maybe not that much on this phone, but I got a bunch of stuff because my eldest is the one that convinced me to get it to, and so I made it just for showing minis off, for good or for ill. I've just sort of neglected it because it's mainly my friends that see it on Facebook anyway. All right, so with that, we're gonna call Vision almost done. We're gonna give that time to dry. While that dries, we're gonna get our brush back cleaned off. We're gonna pull out the Ard coat. And do a couple things that we were going to do on Bucky. So get this gloss coat. We're going to go ahead and, that was a little too much. We're going to coat his shoulder pad here. So it's still black, but it looks a little shiny. Breaks it up from the rest of the model and gives it that lacquered armor look. And we're going to do that on his knee pads as well. And like part of me is like, but he's all in black. He's trying to be stealthy. And then he's got a giant silver metal arm. So he's not trying to be that stealthy. All right. So remember, if you're going to put a gloss coat on, put the gloss coat on over after you do your matte coat.
So just to let you know, you have 1 hour.
Yes, thank you. And then, so that's done. And we'll pull out our storm shield to finish off Vision. So pull that out, take our Vision. He's nice and cleaned up. We're just gonna, he's not my bestest model ever, but like I said, he fought me so hard for so long. I just want him done. He is done. I don't have to worry about him. His bride is much prettier than he is. Wanda's looks much better, but he is done. And that makes me happy. Like I said, not my best work, but done. So I did like the way his cape came out though. Alrighty, so let's do a quick recap. Let me clean that brush off real quick, sorry. And then we'll do a quick recap, and then I will let you go for the night. We have now finished a 2-week fight, 3-week fight. Actually, I started painting him during quarantine, so well over a year ago, and had no idea what to do with him. But we now have Vision is complete, and that makes me happy. We also painted Bucky tonight in his entirety, but he was not a very hard model to paint. Mainly some dry brushing, different variations, various shades of gray on top of black, and then giving it a null oil, painting up some things, and he is done. And finally, he was actually pretty much done last week, but we finished up his base. A model I think looks even my favorite one that actually I've done in a few weeks is Hawkeye. You can see the hints of the reds and the blues in his outfit, like his MCU. He's got some cool blue shades. So yeah, those are finished up tonight. So that was awesome. I appreciate y'all being with me through the journey. That was the first part of trying to figure out how to put this stupid thing together. And then the last hour and a half of painting up these 3 MCU models, MCP models. Man, too much MC. Anyway, I appreciate y'all, and I will see some of you, hopefully all of you, tomorrow for Paint Party. Remember, that is tomorrow, 6 to 9 Central. If you have your camera, mic, and setup, you are welcome to join us. Just remember the rules: no copyrighted music behind you, and keep it PG-13-ish is where we try to stay. Although sometimes it goes crazy, like tonight when I had a 5-year-old trying to kill me. Anyway, Remember, Gamers and Geeks, it is not just a game store, it is a gaming community. Oh, I rolled it. One of them anyway, but then there's always that one. Bam, bam. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night or day for that matter if you are in Australia. And y'all have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.